Again, so before I get into it, there's several things to say. One, this is the last live recorded video that I will be doing. Everything else will be uploaded but recorded today. Will be uploaded later days but be recorded today because I can't record over the weekend, which is really annoying, but personal reasons, you know how things be. So anyway, in my last video, I intentionally made it sound like Weibo had basically no hope and that T1 were basically guaranteed to win Worlds. But that was just sort of the sake for building a narrative. So first off, let's talk about how Weibo can win. Firstly, T1's record in finals is absolutely abysmal. I mean, so T1 formed this roster in November of 2020, and since then it has been awful. They've been to 8 different finals. They've only won 2 of them, the regional finals of 2021 and LCK Spring in 2020. In fact, it can even be argued that on top of only winning 25%, they've only got a 25% win rate. When it comes to finals, they have such a bad record of going 0-3 as well, having done so as many times as they've won the final. Admittedly, both times to Gen.G and the LCK Summer Splits of 2022 and 2023. But also, if you go on to game score, they have a record of 12 wins and 21 losses. And as you would expect, that's quite a bad record, sitting at around a 36% win rate. However, again, this is all just stats, and it's not entirely relevant to this series because T1 look much stronger coming into this final than they have done in any previous final, in my opinion, apart from maybe 2022 Worlds. Actually, no, they looked worse in 2022 Worlds, but DRX also looked worse. I think skill level just looked worse. Secondly, I think Weibo are a lot less exposed to T1's prep work, which has done a decent amount of the heavy lifting so far for T1 in the knockouts. The reason for this is that the top lane is the most critical lane for Weibo. Top lane is the most critical lane for Weibo, especially when the top laner is the Shy. It's quite hard to target the top laner in the current meta. As one commenter pointed out on my last T1 video, the meta requires jungler attention to be mostly focused on the bot lane due to its less stable nature, and so the top lane is left quite isolated, a lot more, even more so than in other metas. This is particularly beneficial for Weibo when you consider that there are a limited number of responses that can be given to the Shy's Rumble, which should probably be permabanned realistically in this series. Additionally, because Weibo tend to carry through top, the nature of top laners being they don't tend to sit back like control mages or sit back like a lot of ADCs. They tend to be a lot harder to isolate. Unless he oversteps himself, which is something that T1 had to do. They had to isolate the carries in their previous series against JDG, and obviously that was against another top fighting team, which Weibo are. So I personally, if I was T1, I'd be practicing something like peel or poke comps to try and encourage the Shy to go too deep. But even then, that's not really the most reliable response in the world. Thirdly, whilst I would sort of favor T1's bot lane in this current meta because it is very much a meta that fits their comfort zone and suits them, Weibo are probably one of the best teams not called T1 in this double marksman bot lane. This is because not only is a Crisp a solid support player in this meta, unlike a lot of Chinese support, but also Light and Crisp just have the playstyle mechanics to go toe-to-toe with T1, especially if Guma continues his trend of struggling a little in finals. And then finally, it's sort of fated for Weibo to win. The reason why it's fated is this thumbnail that I did when I was addressing a commentator's revisionism, in which they sort of suggested that underdogs always tended to win Worlds, and I highlighted Weibo thinking that they stood less chance than a lot of the other teams. As you can sort of see, it wasn't exactly my predictions, but you can see I put them in the underdogs category, and they're quite obviously the best team in the underdogs category, and just called them guaranteed winners. So it's literally written in the stars. But again, before I end this video, I just want to say again, thank you for all the support lately. I still don't understand how my initial videos on tier 1 and Weibo popped off so hard, and that's literally all down to you guys. So yeah, thanks again. See you in the next one. I will be doing an R6 video next time, but if you just skip that, do not worry. It's literally just for my own enjoyment, so please feel free to skip it. And see you in the next one. See ya.